You know the winning formula. This video is part of our introductory series entitled You and the IRS Collection Machine. The introductory series features a number of phrases which we use in our practice to help folks understand the nature of their IRS problem at a more personal, deeper, and non-technical level. I've coined these phrases more than 25 years ago and they've stood the test of time. They help you understand what's happening to you because you can relate to them through your regular life experiences, and they'll give you more confidence so that you can successfully take the first step in resolving your IRS problem. You know the formula. Do it yourself with Digital Tax Attorney. Get 2 digital tax attorney sets and talk to one of our tax attorneys for free. This is industry revolutionary. Let us help you help yourself. Then decide what's best for you. Remember, the more you know, the less you pay. Our topic is the IRS Black Magic payment plans. Now I'm going to talk to you about the dangers and how to go about avoiding them. Now, payment plans appear to be very helpful. And quite frankly, the IRS offers payment plans to most people who have IRS delinquencies. When I say most people, I'm talking millions of people. And millions of people, quote, agree to the provision in the payment arrangements that the IRS demands. And then later they find that it's not appropriate. They find, for instance, that they cannot make the payments as agreed. And those payment plans can go into default, and then those debts, your delinquencies, sent back to IRS Collection Division, where you discover you're back on the IRS collection conveyor belt again, with more penalties and more interest being added to your debt. Yet, so many of those defaults could have been avoided from the beginning. Yes, there are some IRS payment plans that make sense, and some that succeed. But many are actually doomed from the very beginning to fail. To fail. The key is to recognize the problems and the challenges that go with IRS payment plans so you can avoid them and find the best way to utilize your rights, not just what the IRS demands of you. This is also true if you're already in a payment plan, especially if you're struggling. The truth is you have rights against the IRS. You know, every taxpayer does. And you know that every IRS collection problem can be resolved. That's what Digital Tax Attorney is all about. This introduction focuses on the dangers of IRS installment payment plans. Yes, I know, payment plans appear to offer convenience and a promise that the IRS won't levy your paycheck or your bank accounts, and heaven forbid you know what that would be like. But many of the plans are rushed into, and many of them actually cut off important rights that the law gives to you, the taxpayer. They're beneficial to you, and yet you're not going to be taking advantage of them. So just because you're told that the IRS will set up a payment plan doesn't mean that it's necessarily right for you, or that it's going to protect your legal rights and protections, and ultimately be of a benefit to you. You have to decide whether the IRS payment plan is best for you. And our Digital Tax Attorney set that deals specifically with Black Magic payment plans will help you accomplish just that. It'll look at circumstances and facts that are similar to yours, and you'll be able to compare what you're going through to what we have seen hundreds and thousands of other taxpayers experience. Oh, I know you have unique rights. I know you have unique facts. But these problems have a system or a rhythm to them. And that's why I can tell you with confidence that there's a way to resolve it. And that you can do it on your own. You know the formula. We have the winning formula. These laws were enacted by Congress and the presidents to make sure that the IRS was controlled and that it wasn't going to be able to act heavy-handedly to your disadvantage. The Congress of the United States and our presidents have understood and agreed that a productive citizen contributes more to our country than one who's being crushed, one who's being subjugated or constantly undermined, and who is at risk of being financially destroyed by the sheer weight of continuous IRS demands, especially improper demands. The IRS cannot be unfair under the law, and it cannot conduct itself in a way that's negative or drive you into a living condition that is not acceptable. Now, when you go to Digital Tax Attorney, you will find that we are video driven. This means that you're going to get to the heart of your matter and not have to wade through piles, if not thousands of pages of documents and piles of legal jargon and tax jargon. This is critical. Click on the topic that is similar to your personal circumstances, and you will be taken right to that presentation, and you can follow my presentation of that topic to you just by watching the video. We will empower you. We will empower you. And more importantly, if you get 2 sets, you can talk to us for free. Now, that's industry revolutionary. You can talk to us about your problem with your questions, and we will respond to you as though your problem was our problem, and we would tell you what we would do if we had your problem and how to go about doing it. So take advantage of it. You're important to us. We're here even though other so-called experts tell you don't call. We want you to call. Now, while it's true that some payment installment agreements work, be very cautious and go through each of the proposals so that you can understand whether they're going to remain viable, whether you can continue to satisfy them. We refer to Blackmagic payment plans because it has a voodoo-like feature. They seem to be okay in the beginning, and then as you get into a few months, you realize that they're not. You realize that they're more of a burden to you than they are a help. The payments originally required of you may have been too high. You may end up having to rob Peter to pay Paul. You may not make other payments to other basic creditors and living expenses for a period of time so that you can make your payment to the Blackmagic IRS payment plan. But eventually that's all going to catch up to you. And when it does, you're going to have more creditors that are unhappy and more late payment fees and all the other things that go with that. You may also encounter a situation where the payment plan payment amount made sense in the beginning, but your circumstances have changed since then. You may have lost your job or had interruption in your work or your pay or your income of some kind. And you can't just be required to continue to make payments that drive you to a point where you're living a condition of life which is not acceptable under the law. There's provisions in the law that protect a certain amount of money that you're supposed to be allowed to spend for your housing, for your basic necessities, for the needs of your family, utility, car payments, insurance payments, and the like. You need to know what they are. And even though you're talking to somebody at the IRS, particularly the Automated Collection Services Division representatives, and they don't go through those particular protections one by one, you need to be aware of them, and you need to bring them up on your own so that you are going to enjoy those protections. If you don't do that for yourself, nobody else will do it for you. You think that calling the IRS and hoping that it's going to identify all your rights and it's going to enforce all the protections that the law grants to you, and it's going to do it in your best interest, you think that that's going to happen? The IRS is a collection machine. It's a collection agency. Its only real job is to collect money. Your money. Now, that's why we refer to IRS payment plans as black magic. And, you know, the risk that you're going to engage in a voodoo black magic IRS payment plan increases when you have money trouble. I mean, obviously, if you don't have any money difficulties, if you have enough cash coming in, and if the IRS sends you a bill that's comfortable for you to pay, you just pay it. You get it out of your life. You can choose to do that. Some people do. They just don't want to deal with it, so they pay for it. But when there isn't enough to go around, or when you need that money for something that is important, and where it's wrong for the IRS to have to require you to pay it, then it's up to you to challenge it. And if you don't challenge it, nobody else is going to challenge it for you. If you don't challenge it, you're going to have to pay. And if you don't pay now, you'll have to pay later. So, the end rule here is that you must act for yourself and act now. You can do it yourself. We're going to show you how. We're going to tell you what your rights are. We're going to show you how to use your rights, how to exercise your rights. And you can do what we do. Digital Tax Attorney is here to help you help yourself. And we're looking forward to the opportunity. Thank you.